Hey y'all, Joel here from Ronin. Today I wanted to tell you a little bit about our FC Mandaville Big Brake Kit for the 2nd Gen RX-7. The reason these are called Mandaville brakes is that we owe the concept to Roger Mandaville, who first did something similar for the FD RX-7, and who actually was gracious enough to allow us to follow in his footsteps. So really nice gentleman, very clever dude. The idea behind a Mandaville brake is to take the factory caliper, 4-piston caliper in this case, split it in half, reinstall with spacers and O-rings on both sides now, longer bridge bolts on a larger rotor. One of the things that's a little bit unique about both FC and FD calipers is that they use really small pistons. Small pistons means that the bias between the front and rear brakes is kind of sensitive. And there's really a surprising number of big name manufacturers who just use the same default caliper on everything. With RX-7s in particular, it's easy to end up with brakes that are super grabby in the front, but the rears aren't doing enough of the work. And ironically, allowing the rears to do as much as they can is actually one of the secrets of excellent braking. The other secret is don't fade. Thermal mass is what matters. So this kit, as you can see, does not include rotors nor the calipers themselves. You're using your calipers, and the rotor we're using is that from a 350Z, the track edition that came with Brembo brakes. And honestly, any 350Z with Brembos will be an adequate donor. But the 350Z's rotors that we're using, they're 2 inches larger diameter and a 1/4 inch thicker. You can also get them as a direct replacement 2-piece rotor. That's what I'm running, and it works out real well. So, as mentioned, it starts with a machined spacer, slot for O-ring on one side, factory O-ring on the back side. This has a specific contour, which is not exactly that of the caliper. Instead, you want to open up the caliper to match this, and there's some specific instructions on how you do that in the install instructions. It's a little bit sensitive, but take your time, use a Dremel, be just fine. Longer bridge bolts, these guys were hard to find, not something you're going to score at McMaster Car. The rotor hats are slightly thinner on the Z, so wheel spacers to take that thickness back up, everything on your wheels is going to land just like it did before. As mentioned, 2 inches larger diameter rotor means about an inch difference in spacing. We're now using billet aluminum spacers, but it's also got a hardened steel insert in there. For something you want to take in and out a bunch of times, that's always a good idea. Comes with bolts, Nordlock branded washers. These guys, it's a split washer. Probably the best thing I've ever found in the engineering world for resisting vibration. But put it all together and it all bolts up. It only results in about a 20% change in bias, and that is all from the increased leverage of the larger diameter rotor. But honestly, most people who are running pretty sticky tires, they're going to have 20% more load transfer onto the front wheels anyway. But a rear proportioning valve is never a bad idea, because again, getting the rears to do as much as they can is part of the secret here. So thermal mass matters. You know when you don't have enough. I remember the first time I got bad brake fade on a road course, front straight, hard on the binders, went straight off the corner at the end of the track. More excitement than I was really planning on when suddenly the brakes just were not there. Thankfully a big gravel runoff, no real issues. But the very next event I came back with, I had finished the design and implemented these. They've been working great on my own car for past 10 years or so. It's really an inexpensive way to do something that's truly exceptional when it comes to performance. So hope that helps some folks out. As always, have a nice day.